It's time for another unpacking video. This game is actually a new release, but not in the strictest sense of that term of being a new release, but I will explain. Eschatos, or however you pronounce it, is a vertical shoot 'em up that was released, I think it was sometime last year. I can't be bothered to pull the wiki up, but I think it was sometime last year. It could have been the year before, but whenever it was, it has actually already been released on the Xbox 360 in Japan. It was a region 3 release, and it's still available now actually, but it's pretty dear. It's not a cheap game to buy. Currently from Video Game Imports, it is £75 brand new. So this is for the first, not the first edition, but the original run, or the original version of the game. I'm not sure whether or not they're actually still making the print runs. I suspect not, but again I could be wrong. Now the game's actually been re-released on something called a Wonder Price re-release in Japan, which I assume is like Platinum Edition or whatever you want to call it. You know, basically a cheaper version, re-release of the same game under a cheaper label, and it's vastly cheaper. Now I didn't buy it the first time round purely because I didn't get it, if I'm being honest. Looked at some of the YouTube videos, it just looked a bit crap to me, and I'm going to get slagged off for saying that, and I am, because I think everyone that's played it or bought it have said it's just an absolutely fantastic shoot 'em up. There's actually 3 games on the disc. So you get Eschatos, you get one called Judgment Silver Sword, which was actually a Wonder Swan shooter. So it was only ever available on the Wonder Swan, which was a handheld, if my memory serves me correctly. And also a game called Cardinal Sins, which also was only available as a Wonder Witch download. Fuck knows what that means. Again, if I read the wiki, I'm pretty sure it will tell me. But anyway, it's 3 games on the disc. You still actually get that with this re-release. So you know, for £34 as opposed to £75, it was a no-brainer for me. I knew it was coming out. It was on Lee's website. He said that it was coming out, and I thought, well, for the price, I'll give it a punt. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But at least I haven't hoofed like 70 odd quid on it. So here it is. It came this week. It was actually released I think the back end of last week in Japan, and it's come over, or it was released on Monday or so in Japan, don't know, but it's only recently just been released. So you could call it a new release under a different label of no game. Ooh, excuse me, bad wind. There we have the front cover of Eschatos. There's rear cover. Rear cover. Now, because this is a cheapo release, I basically think I might be lucky if I actually get a game disc in here. I don't expect. Awesome. Case is bust, never mind. I'm not expecting any great miracles. There's inside. So what do we have apart from the game disc? Now the company that have actually produced this game, Cute I think you pronounce it, I've got another shoot 'em up that's coming out fairly soonish actually. I know it's, can't think exactly, August being released, I know. It's called Ginga Force, and there's actually a flyer in this package about that game, so that's a new game that's coming out. It's available for pre-order on Video Game Imports. I will probably pre-order that, depending on how I get on with this game, but I'm pretty confident I'm gonna like it. So the manual, it's a colour manual. Even on a budget release, it's a colour manual. Don't you just love it? And it looks pretty good actually. Plenty of plenty of screenshots, and because of the sort of 3 games that are in it or on it, it's split into 3 sections. But it's that's pretty nifty actually. At least it's full colour, and it's actually worthwhile having a manual. You know, it does actually tell you something. Got to be honest, looking at the screenshots here, like I said, I've seen the YouTube videos, but the other 2 games look pretty retro. You know, they're the full-on sort of retro shizfest. You know, the real sort of 8-16-bit type of era. I suspect you might be able to see that. Let's sort of zoom in on there. I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, that looks the full. Oh, sorry about this. So it'll be interesting to actually see what these games actually play like. Now this release, as far as I'm aware, isn't region free. It could be, but there's nothing on Lee's website to say it is region free, and he normally marks up the games that are region free, so you're aware of that. I could test it, I suppose, on my UK Xbox. In fact, I'll test it on my UK Xbox right now. So I'm just going to quickly just play a game just to make sure that, well not play a whole game, but I'm just going to, I would have thought, I mean, surely it would have come up by now. Come on, chop, 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 chop. It's region free, guys. It's region free. Okay, right. Stop playing it, stop playing it, stop playing it. So, yeah, it's, you experience live. This is region free. It's region free. So, so like I said, you know, it's for 30, I don't know, 32, 33, 34 £, whatever it cost me, I can't remember. It was just under £40 including delivery. So it's yeah, I will stop the crap waffling. I'll get straight to some gameplay, guys. Hopefully it's a great game, and the fact it's region free is an absolute bonus for, you know, for everybody else in the world that hasn't got a Japanese 360. I'll get straight to some gameplay on my arcade cab on my Japanese Xbox 360 in all the full rotated mode. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I will speak to you again soon. Here we have the track sequence for Eschatos. Now, as I said in the introduction video, the actual game is made up of 3 games. This is the main game. This is Eschatos. So I'll have a quick look at this game first of all, and I'll try and show the other 2 games as well, because it's certainly worth showing you. Now, whilst I've got this hooked up to my Sega Naomi in full tape mode, as you can see, I'm using tape screen here. So it's all full screen, but in tape mode. this is actually a game that doesn't benefit really, in my opinion, from using the SLG 3000. The game has been designed really for progressive type graphics in a minimum of 480p mode. Obviously, really for the Xbox 360, it's meant to be played in whatever high def mode you want to play in, but obviously we're not going to play it in high def mode on a CRT. Not on this CRT setup anyway. So it's I've got no SLG. I've tried it with the SLG and it looks a bit naff, to be honest. So let's have a look. I've played with some of the settings. I've changed the actual button layout to better suit my arcade control panel, so I won't go into that. And there's various screen settings that you can choose from. I've changed the tape mode, I've expanded the picture slightly, etc. So let's get into start. So you've got a couple of options there. You've got original, time attack or advanced, so we'll stick with original. Now you've got 4 buttons. You've got 2 forms of shot. You've got a shield and you've got a speed button. So we're basically on full speed now. And what a prat. Right, okay. I need to actually look better at what I'm doing. I don't fully understand the actual mechanics of the game as regards to actually knowing what I need to do, because this is like the 2nd or 3rd time I played it, but it's a pretty simple game with simple mechanics from what I can make out. There's no there's no brain dump required to actually know how to play this game, as far as I'm aware. You just shoot the shit out of everything, really. And it's a pretty sort of classic style of game as regards to shoot 'em up. It's been it's been upgraded as regards to the graphics element, even though it is fairly straightforward. This is the 2nd type of shot we've got, and that's a shield, and the shield actually has a time element on it, but it does charge itself back up. So like I said, you can actually slow things down, but I'll keep it at full chat. And you get these sort of power-ups, well, not power-ups so much, but they well, I'm not actually quite sure what they are, power-ups actually. I think a couple of the ones I hit on the previous game, they sort of blew everything up on the screen, so whether you class that as a power-up, I don't know, but it's quite a simplistic game, like I said, but actually in some ways that's its that's one of its redeeming factors. It's not overly complicated, it's easy to get into. Pretty much like your original sort of 8-bit stroke 16-bit arcade shooters, really, the 80s. You know, it's a no-frill shooter, that's what it is, and I think everybody that's bought this game, the original version of the game, just said it was absolutely great because of the fact that it was simple. You know, there was no amazingly hard mechanics. It's not like a cave game. You've got no crazily stupid methods of play. You just dodge stuff, blow stuff up, and basically just have fun. And you know, really, you can't knock a shooter for being like that. It works, it does what it needs to do. Some people might look at it and say, you know what, it doesn't look that great to me, and it plays a bit simplistically, and well, I'm still going, I've got another man here. But I think that's one of the if I'm being absolutely honest, that's one of the reasons why I didn't buy it on release. So I thought, yeah, that looks a bit, I'm not too sure about that. Okay, so you're getting a bit more, slightly more bullet hellish. suspect that's the end of the first level or something like that. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it's not, because it keeps going. But I think that's certainly all my lives gone. So again, that's a pretty straightforward view of the game. Now apparently the actual best game on this game disc is, I can't remember what it's called now.
Eschatos.
Let's come out of this. Judgment Silver Sword. This apparently is actually the best game out of 3. Like I said, this was originally released on the Wonder Swan, I think. You have to excuse the screen display slightly, even though it's in tape mode. You have got full tape mode. You have to download the update for this. I mean, that's full on sort of, you know, basic 8-bit graphics really, but that shouldn't actually detract from the gameplay experience. So let's go to normal and we'll give this a bash. I mean, this is full on retro schnizzle. Now what I haven't done is actually resized the screen to expand it out slightly. It's a bit too narrow, but for, you know, for the purpose of this gameplay. I mean, it really is real retro-ness, this is. But apparently this is the game that everyone raves about. I suppose in some ways I've got to be honest and say, why? I mean, this is undoubtedly what Eschatos was based on, I suspect. Ooh. It's actually not that easy, if I'm being honest. It's weird because you look at a game like this graphic-wise and you expect it to be a piece of piss, but to be fair, if anyone's trying to play Space Invaders recently, the original Space Invaders, that's not actually an easy game. So you shouldn't judge every book by its graphical cover, should you really? But you know, in essence, you can't get any more basic than this. You really can't, can you? It's strange enough, I've actually shut up then for a while, so I must have been getting into the game, so to be fair, this is actually a pretty good game. I'm actually enjoying this one, Eschatos. I'm sure some of you guys that are into your Mega Drive shooters will love this, because this basically looks like a Mega Drive game. Utter shit. Third game, which is Cardinal Sins, I think that's got a bit of a slagging. organic actually, this is. Ooh. Nice recover. That's like your full-on bullet hell, that was. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty impressed with that one actually. I'm actually more impressed with that, gameplay-wise, than Eschatos. So yeah, hopefully guys, that's given you a bit of an insight to what the game looks like. Because it's stupidly priced now, you know, 32 quid or whatever it is, I'd have to recommend it. I've got to recommend it, and because it's region free as well, it's a good game, guys. Go out and buy it.